Hi Paul, nice to meet you today. Could you tell us a little bit about yourself, how you are related to China?
Okay, well, thank you, Clement. My name is Paul Marsnick, and I'm the Professor of Entrepreneurship and Management at St. John's University in the College of St. Benedict. The entrepreneurship part allows me to take a group of 12 students to China every year, and I've been doing that for the past 6 years.
Great. I know you lead a e-scholar group every year to China at the end of around Christmas. So among these six trips, which one is the most impressive one for you personally?
Well, I think this is probably true for anybody, but the first time as an American, my first time in China was just incredible. The other trips have all been fascinating too, but the first time I went there, I really didn't know what to expect, and I was just blown away. So many of the things that I had anticipated about China turned out to be wrong.
Could you give me an example?
Yeah, sure. One of the I visited many factories in China, and on that first trip we happened to be visiting a motorcycle factory. It was a factory in Jiangmen, I think it was, and they made small and medium-sized motorcycles and scooters. And so of course I was expecting to see a sweatshop, horrible working conditions, dirty, greasy, inefficient, lots of labor, not a lot of technology. And it was exactly the opposite. I mean, we walked in and we were greeted by an absolutely professional staff wearing suits and ties, dressed very professionally. They met us. We gathered in a sort of a lobby area with a little waterfall. They introduced us to the company. They told us about the history of the company. And then they took us into the factory, which was even more, I was expecting, behind the doors would be this, horrible sweatshop. And it was even more impressive than the lobby area was. I mean, the technology was fantastic. It was automated. They had a lot of people in there working very hard, but they were using absolutely state-of-the-art technology to make really good motorcycles in a very efficient way. So I was very surprised.
That's cool. I suppose that the factory is located in the east side of China, because that is the more developed area in China.
Yeah, it was. It was in the Pearl River Delta, which is in the southern part of China on the east coast.
I know, in Guangdong province probably.
Yeah.
So I also know that you have a strong interest to visit west part of China, especially rural areas of the west part. What brings you there?
Oh yeah. Well, as I said, over 6 years, I spent most of my time, practically all of my time, on the east coast of China, in Shanghai, in Jiangmen, in Shenzhen, in Guangzhou, Hong Kong, and fascinating. Factories, textile factories, motorcycle factory, companies that make leather goods, all these things, and learned so much by visiting these places. But everywhere we went, there would be dormitories with thousands and thousands of migrant workers that had come from the farm. And I always, with every visit, I would say, wow, I mean, and I've done some reading, and this, a migration of 200 million people from rural areas in China to factories on the East Coast. The largest migration of people in the history of humankind happened in China in the last 30 years. So I was intrigued with, where are they coming from? What is the farm in China like? And it worked out so that I had a sabbatical, and I was able to, with the help of my good friend from Hong Kong, Adrian Fung, I was able to travel into rural China and spend some time on Chinese farms with farmers. And it was just a mind-blowing experience for me.
What did you find there? Most surprising thing?
Oh man, I was, if 200 people move from the farm to work in a factory in the city, even though some of these factories were pretty nice, this isn't the best life in the world. In fact, from the standpoint of an American. So I'm thinking that the farm must be pretty bad, right? If these people had to leave the farm, to come to this life in the city. So I was expecting it to be very bad. And I guess that's what I was surprised at, is when we got to the farm, we walked through a village. Everybody was saying hi to us, ni hao, we're walking through the village. And old people, mostly old people and very young people, because a lot of the 30-year-old, 20-year-old teenagers have gone to the city.
Yeah.
But we were welcomed, and we were treated to very, very nice meals. I think they were going out of their way to make it very pleasant for me as the Waiguaran, the foreigner. In fact, they told me over dinner and drinking baijiu and lots of gambay toasts and things like that. They said I was the first Waiguaran, the first foreigner ever to set foot in their village. And it's like, wow, that gave me goosebumps. I felt like I was in a National Geographic special or something like that. But,
Right.
it wasn't, the farm was a beautiful place, first of all. I mean, things were growing and the crops were beautiful, and this was in the middle of January. Now, this was in Sichuan province, not far from Chongqing. And it struck me as the sort of a place that would be a very enjoyable place to spend time. The scenery was beautiful, the people were very friendly and happy, and that surprised me. I was expecting it to be more pain and people that weren't happy and that sort of thing. That wasn't the case at all. They didn't have running water, so they had to go to the outhouse to go to the bathroom, but they did have electricity. And they had simple appliances like a crock pot and maybe like a stove or something like that. And they had a motorcycle and with a little sort of a makeshift kind of a garage to park the motorcycle in. And I was told that those sort of luxury items were there because a lot of money was coming back from relatives who were working in the factories on the East Coast. So, I was, the conditions that they were living in didn't surprise, they were pretty much what I had expected. But the feeling I got was very different. People seemed to be very happy on the farm. And I don't know, I just enjoyed my time there.
Oh, it is because you went there, so they appear to be happy in front of you.
That might
because
be
of you.
Also, yeah.
Yes.
That's a good point. And also, so it was kind of a festive time because the visitor from far away had come, and it was Chinese New Year too. So
okay.
They were kind of festive that way.
Yeah.
And so even there were some people had come back from the factories too. So like I said earlier, it was a lot of old people and young people, but the 30-year-old people, there were some of them there too. Yeah.
Great. Thank you, Paul.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.